Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Paranormal News. Today's article comes from dailymail.co.uk, and the headline is this really Nessie? Tourist photo showing creature rising from water sparks online claims that it could be one of the best ever pictures of the Loch Ness Monster. It's written by Jordan King for Mail Online, and it was published June 23rd, 2020. Steve Chalice took photos of a big creature when he was on holiday in Scotland. He posted them online, and many people have commented, "It is Nessie pictured." Some doubt the photos are real and think they may have been photoshopped. The Loch Ness Mystery blog author said it's the best photo of Nessie ever taken. People think a tourist's incredible photographs have captured the Loch Ness Monster, with some claiming it is the best picture ever of all the sightings. Steve Chalice from Southampton photographed a creature from the shore opposite to Urquhart Castle on the banks of the Loch Ness when on holiday in Scotland. Steve said he saw a ripple in the water and assumed it was a big fish that he estimated was 8 feet long. And here is yet another really good photograph of this animal, whether it is a fish or an actual photograph of the Loch Ness Monster is yet to be determined, but this is another good photograph of it. Steve told the Daily Record he thought it was a catfish and only posted the photos to see if people could help him identify the creature. He said, "In my opinion, and I'm no expert, I think it's a large fish that got into the loch from the sea. As to what it is personally, I think it's a catfish or something like that, but a big one. Someone suggested it may be a sturgeon. It's very large, as the bit you can see must be at least 8 feet long. And who can tell what amount is below the surface? The water is very dark in Loch Ness, so it's hard to tell. I saw a disturbance in the water in front of me and took an image, then a second one, and suddenly this fish came out of the water and I got an image of it. It was gone almost instantly, so much so I wasn't sure if I'd got it or not. I guess it was something of a fluke shot. I waited about for a bit and took another image, but didn't see the fish again." He took the photos in September, but only had time to look through them during lockdown. When he posted them, people kept commenting that the photos looked like the Loch Ness Monster. Author Roland Watson, who runs the Loch Ness Mystery blog, said the picture is the best picture of a possible Loch Ness Monster sighting ever. Roland included in his blog examples of previous sightings, which were unclear webcam blobs, making this photo, if real, the clearest one to date. But Roland has doubts about whether the pictures are real, writing on his blog, "A zoom in on the object raises an eyebrow." Roland contacted Steve and is in discussion with him about whether the picture has been photoshopped. Steve said the photos are real, but that he genuinely thinks the photos have only captured a big fish. What is the Loch Ness Monster? Rumors of a strange creature living in the waters of Loch Ness have abounded over the decades. Yet scant evidence has been found to back up these claims. One of the first sightings, believed to have fueled modern Nessie fever, came in May 2nd, 1933. On this date, the Inverness Courier carried a story of a local couple who claimed to have seen an enormous animal rolling and plunging on the surface. Another famous claimed sighting is a photograph taken in 1934 by Colonel Robert Kenneth Wilson. It was later exposed as a hoax by one of the participants, Chris Sperling, who on his deathbed revealed that the pictures were staged. Other sightings, James Gray's picture from 2001, when he and friend Peter Levings were out fishing on the loch, while namesake Hugh Gray's blurred photo of what appears to be a large sea creature was published in the Daily Express in 1933. The first reported sighting of the monster is said to have been made in 565 AD by the Irish missionary St. Columba, when he came across a giant beast in the River Ness. But no one has ever come up with a satisfactory explanation for the sightings. Although in 2019, Nessie expert Steve Feltman, who has spent 24 years watching the loch, said he thought it was actually a giant whale's catfish, native to waters near the Baltic and Caspian Seas in Europe. An online register lists more than 1,000 total Nessie sightings, created by Mr. Campbell, the man behind the official Loch Ness Monster fan club, and is available at lochnesssightings.com. So what could explain these mysterious sightings? Many Nessie witnesses have mentioned large crocodile-like scutes sitting atop the spine of the creature, leading some to believe an escaped amphibian may be to blame. Native fish sturgeons can also weigh several hundred pounds and have ridged backs, which make them look almost reptilian. Some believe Nessie is a long-necked plesiosaur, like an elasmosaur, that survived somehow when all the other dinosaurs were wiped out. Others say the sightings are down to Scottish pines dying and flopping into the loch, before quickly becoming waterlogged and sinking. While submerged, botanical chemicals start trapping tiny bubbles of air. Eventually, enough of these are gathered to propel the log upward as deep pressures begin altering its shape, giving the appearance of an animal coming up for air. And that is the end of this article. Now, I don't buy that explanation at all for any of the sightings. What they're saying is that a tree dies and falls into the loch, and gas bubbles form underneath the tree, causes the tree to somehow change shape, warp into a different shape, and the shape that it warps into just happens to be a shape that looks exactly like the Loch Ness Monster that comes up out of the water. To me, that just seems way too perfect of an explanation. You know, it's way too coincidental that it just happens to turn into a creature-looking log. But who knows? Stranger things have happened. So we're going to look at these photographs again, and you tell me what you think of them. I'm going to put them on the screen as I talk. So as I'm going through my little explanation here, you'll be able to look at the best photograph that we have of this set of photographs of the sighting. Do you think that this is a fish, or do you think that this is the Loch Ness Monster? It certainly looks to me to be a fish. I mean, it looks way more like a fish than it does any of the photographs or descriptions that we have had of the Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster looks like a dinosaur, essentially. It has the long neck. Some people believe it may be a plesiosaur. That'll kind of give you an image in your brain to what it looks like. Picture like a brontosaurus. Everybody knows what one of those are. Like Dino from the Flintstones. One of those kind of things, but in the water and smaller. That's what a plesiosaur would almost look like. It has fins instead of legs, stuff like that. But the essentials are there. Long tail, long neck. That's the important thing to remember. To me, this does not look like that whatsoever. This looks like a fish. Now, I don't know if it's a catfish, because catfish have the long whiskers and they have very definitive fins, and I don't see that in this photograph. Could it be a sturgeon? Possibly. It looks to be more a sturgeon than it does a catfish to me. But I do believe that this is honestly nothing more than a very, very large fish to my eye. That's what I see when I look at it. Now, I'm a guy that has done a lot of fishing in my life, and I know what fish look like in the water. I know what they look like as they're coming out of the water. I know what they look like when they're hitting a topwater lure and when they surface. So this, to me, looks like a fish. But, as always, it is up to you to make up your own mind. So you tell me down in the comments below what you think. Do you think that this is the Loch Ness Monster? Do you think we finally got an amazing photograph of one? Or do you think it's simply a fish? Or do you think maybe that the Loch Ness Monster is simply a fish? And that this is the first good photograph we've gotten of it, so now we can tell that it's a fish. That's a possibility as well. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you for all your support. I love you, and I will catch you on the next episode. Until I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.